All right, I get it. You guys want me to explain how to get shredded as fuck if you're skinny. All right, let's get down to it. Back when I first started working out, I was one of those skinny hard gainers who had a really tough time putting on any weight. Even gaining fat was impossible for me. And I'm still a hard gainer to this day. That just means I'm naturally skinny, and it's harder for me to gain weight than it is for an average guy. When I saw you guys requesting this video, I was like, oh, this is perfect because I was just like that. When I was really skinny and learning about how to gain muscle, there was one book that really helped me. It's called Bigger, Leaner, Stronger by Mike Matthews. And I remember thinking, damn, this guy Mike is the shit. I want to meet him one day. And then I was like, oh fuck, wait, I'm Zeus. And I snapped my fingers and summoned him, and he appeared.
What in the actual fuck? Are you Zeus? Did I just die and go to Olympus?
Oh good, you're here. No, you didn't die, don't be ridiculous. I wouldn't let those gains go to waste at such a young age. I'm doing a video about how to gain weight if you're skinny, so let's jump right into it. Side note, this is not a sponsored video. I've actually followed Mike's advice for years, and it's been seriously helpful in getting me to put on size. So when I saw this topic being requested, I knew he'd be the perfect person to collaborate with. And you know, since I'm actually a Greek god, I can summon whomever I want to be in my videos. Click the link above to see the video I did with Alex Lynx, the porn star. Maybe next time I'll do one with those 3 Victoria's Secret models I had a foursome with last weekend. Number 1, compound lifts. When it comes to your workouts, you want to focus on doing heavy compound lifts, which is basically shit like squats, deadlifts, bench press, incline bench press, shoulder press, and so on. These are exercises that hit multiple muscle groups. For example, bench press is a compound lift because it hits your chest, shoulders, arms, etc. Whereas something like a bicep curl only hits one muscle, your biceps. You want to focus on doing between 4 to 8 reps in each set, and you want to do about 9 to 12 sets of various exercises per muscle group per week. And if you're a beginner, the reason I give a range instead of the exact number is because you're not going to know exactly how many reps you can do before you get into it. So if you pick a weight and you hit anywhere from 4 to 8 reps, then that's a good weight for you. It doesn't have to be exactly 4 or exactly 8.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good advice, Zeus. The reality is, if you want to maximize your gains as a natural weightlifter, that is, if you don't want to be pinning yourself every day in the locker room, then you need to do a lot of heavy compound weightlifting, and you have to ensure that you get adequate rest and recovery. That's how you best increase your whole body strength and muscularity. And you can even work in some heavier training if you feel up to it. I myself like to do a set or 2 of 2 to 3 reps with a bit more weight every other week or so.
Totally agree. Doing some sets of 2 to 3 reps has definitely helped me put more weight up on the bar and get stronger when I feel my progress is slowing down. What I like to do for my compound workouts is 2 sets of 2 to 6 reps, and then do 2 more sets of around 4 to 8 reps. I like to hit 2 warm-up sets, then go heaviest right after, because then I can hit my first real set at max capacity.
That's smart, and in fitness lingo, it's known as reverse pyramiding because it's the opposite of the traditional pyramid workout structure where you start with lighter weights and progress into heavier loads. Now, if you're gonna pyramid your workouts, then I definitely recommend reverse pyramids because they allow you to do your heaviest sets when you're freshest and strongest. If you do it the other way around, the traditional pyramid method, you're gonna be fatigued and weaker by the time you get to your heavy sets, and that means you're not going to be able to lift as much weight, and you're going to find it harder to maintain proper form, which can increase the risk of injury.
Yeah, I actually stopped doing pyramids after hearing your recommendations about reverse pyramids in one of your articles, and the reverse ones helped me a lot. Number 2, isolation exercises.
An isolation exercise is one that involves just one joint and major muscle group. Now, other muscles participate, of course, but not very much. A good example here is the biceps curl, because it really only works the biceps. Now, isolation exercises definitely have a place in your workout routine because they can be great for bringing up smaller, more stubborn muscles like the biceps, and also the shoulders and calves are 2 other good examples. But these types of exercises should never be the focus of your training because you simply can't get anywhere near the same results in whole body strength and muscle gains as you can with compound exercises. The bottom line is this: if you want to gain muscle and strength as quickly as possible, then you want to make sure that isolation exercises take a back seat in your training and you put the majority of your time and sweat into the hard shit, the big compound lifts.
That makes perfect sense because I've always focused on doing compound lifts and then supplemented my harder to build muscles like my arms with isolation exercises like curls, pull downs, tricep extensions, and shit like that. What regiment of isolation exercises would you recommend for something like arms?
You know, that's a good question, and it brings up something that I am asked a lot about because many people say that you don't have to do isolation exercises for your arms if you're also doing heavy compound pushing and pulling. And I disagree. The reality is, unless your arms are just hyper responsive to training, which is not the case for most guys, then you definitely need to train your biceps and triceps and maybe even your forearms as well. For example, in my Bigger, Leaner, Stronger program for men, I recommend 6 to 8 sets per week for both the biceps and the triceps, with half of those sets being in the 4 to 6 rep range, which means working with about 80 to 85% of your 1 rep max, and the other half being in the 8 to 10 rep range, which is more like 75% of your 1 rep max. Now, as far as exercises go, let's keep it simple and say for your bis, you can do barbell and dumbbell curls, and for your tris, you can do close grip bench pressing and rope or bar pushdowns.
Yeah, that sounds similar to what I do, and it's worked for me really well. In one of my last workout videos, I mentioned that skinny guys should eat a surplus of around 500 calories to gain weight and should avoid dirty bulking since it makes cutting more difficult in the future. What's the best diet routine skinny guys should follow?
Yeah, I've worked with quite a few hard gainer types that had to eat upward of 4,000 to 4,500 calories per day just to eke out maybe a half a pound to a pound of weight gain per week. Now, you may not need to eat that much, and cross your fingers because trust me, it's not nearly as fun as it sounds, but you should know this. Successful quote-unquote bulking usually entails eating a slightly uncomfortable amount of food. For most guys, that boils down to about 10 to 15% more calories than they're burning every day, which can be quite a lot depending on how fast your metabolism is and how physically active you are. A good starting point for most guys is about 16 to 18 calories per pound of body weight per day. Now, as far as macros go, the most important one is protein, which is why I recommend that you eat around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. So for example, if you weigh 150 pounds, then you want to eat around 150 grams of protein per day. If you're a little higher or lower, that's totally fine, but you want to be in that range. And then you want to get the rest of your calories from carbs and fats, of course, and to figure out how much of each of those that you should be eating, just check out this article that I wrote. It has a calculator in it as well, so all you have to do is kind of punch in your numbers and then you'll be good to go.
Yeah, I found that 15% surplus works best for me when it comes to putting on muscle. And look, if you do all this and you're still not gaining any weight, just eat more. It's pretty much physically impossible to not gain weight if you eat more than you use. So, if you're not seeing any gains, just keep increasing your food until you do. Now, if you guys are looking for a really solid workout routine, click the link on the screen now to check out my video where I break down different splits for you to try out. I have my 4-day split on screen now of what I currently do. On my 4th day, I usually train arms and then another muscle group that I feel needs more training. For example, right now I'm focusing on building up my back muscles since they're my weakest. So I do arms and back on my 4th day. So in summary, focus on heavy compound lifts, do 4 to 8 reps per set, and do 9 to 12 sets per major muscle group per week. These include things like back, legs, chest and shoulders. Also, eat a calorie surplus of about 10% or a little more depending on how your body reacts to it. And finally, don't forget to eat at least 1 gram of protein for each pound of body weight. Anything else you'd like to tell the fans before I whoosh you back to your place?
Well, shit. I mean, thanks for the chance to come chill and talk about how to get jacked. I hope everybody found what I had to say helpful. And if you're still watching and you did like what I had to say, then you should definitely check out my book, Bigger, Leaner, Stronger. It has sold over 350,000 copies in the last few years and helped thousands and thousands of guys build their best bodies ever. You can find it anywhere online where you can buy books like Amazon, Audible, iTunes, Google Play, Kobo, and so forth. And you might also like my weekly articles that I publish over at muscleforlife.com as well as legionathletics.com.